Thank you very much. At the beginning, I would like to really thank to organizer for invitation to present our experience with high-throughput sequencing, which is actually at the beginning. So as you can see, I'm coming from an Institute of Molecular Genetics and Genetic Engineering, which is a part of University of Belgrade. And actually, I suppose I won't be too much wrong if I assume that most of you didn't have opportunity to hear anything about my institute. So I will use a few slides to present in brief my institute. We are founded in 1986, and since 1987 we are affiliated center to International Center for Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology, and although research staff of the Institute is, since its beginning, involved in education of undergraduate and graduate students. We officially became a member of University of Belgrade in 2004. During these 36 years of our existence, we grew slowly from like 25 or 30 scientists, and now 225 researchers, including PhD students, are working at our institute. And actually, I have to say, last night counted number of women and men in our institute, and I have to admit that 110 researchers are women in my institute. So basically, and actually, we have a long history of women at management, actually like during these 36 years of existence of our institute, we had 5 directors, 2 were male and 3 are females, and our current director is my colleague, Dr. Ivana Morić. Anyway, we have different projects, and at the moment we are engaged in 6 Horizon Europe, Horizon 2020 projects, either as collaborators or coordinators or participants. Just in brief, our research interest is basically built around 2 main pillars. But the first one is related to human health improvement. I won't go into details, but you can see we cover different topics from rare diseases and complex disorders, regenerative medicine, pharmacogenomics, and bioinformatics. We are also into microbiology, host microbial interactions, search for novel antimicrobial, antiviral agents, etc. The second important or main pillar is dedicated to green molecular biotechnologies, and under this we search for novel biocatalytic governed processes, green processes, biodegradable materials, upscaling of waste material, basically many of topics which are covered by a European Green Agenda. We felt when COVID pandemic was declared in March 2020 that we could offer our expertise in molecular diagnostic methods. So very soon, meeting with the BGI and our government was established, and collaboration between BGI and our institute, the IMGGE, actually took place, and we agreed to, at the beginning, build 2 Huayan laboratories. Many of you, I suppose, had an opportunity to see a mobile Huayan laboratory at MGI premises. We opted for another option, so we decided to build permanent laboratories, and the first one was built at premises of Clinical University Center of Serbia, and that center, actually, that laboratory became one of national laboratories for molecular detection of any infectious agents. And only 40 days after pandemic was declared, on April 21st, the first laboratory was completely set up, became operational. The second laboratory was strategically placed at the south part of Serbia to cover patients, the patients from that part of Serbia. It is located in a city of Niš, and it was opened and fully operational at the end of July. So, actually, we use this momentum, which we use this recognition by government that we can, give our contribution to actually health of the nation. So the next step was to negotiate further collaboration with BGI, and actually the next step was to build Center for Genomic Sequencing and Bioinformatics, and that happened fast also. The construction started last September, like a year ago, and only 3 months later, opening ceremony was held, and at that time, both the highest officials from our country, Prime Minister of Serbia and Ambassador of People's Republic of China were present there. While construction was going on, we were trained in 10 different online, we had 10 different online trainings. As you can see, we are 125 people there, and these online trainings were pretty popular, as you can see, or at least half of our staff went through trainings. When center was opened, like 40 volunteers, 40 of us, went through 4 different trainings in the period of December to May. Those trainings are related to SARS-CoV-2 viral genome sequencing, VGS, VES, and non-invasive prenatal testing. So, first training was SARS-CoV-2 genome sequencing. It started in January this January, and since then we passed this training, and since then we sequenced more than 100 samples, which are basically part of 3 different studies, because we use these trainings to actually perform some of the research, also because we are actually researchers. One study was to complete sequencing of samples collected during the first year of the pandemic. The other one was related to analysis of which Omicron strains hospitalized people in Serbia during April in 2022. And since May, actually, this year we are a Center for SARS-CoV genome surveillance at national level. Just a short presentation. They are not complete results completely, but for those 3 months. As you can see, in 3 months, actually, there was switch from BA5. BA5 completely pushed out BA2 at the end of July. At the moment, we are now sequencing and going to see what went during August. Next, we went through whole genome and whole exome sequencing. Those trainings were performed in February and March, and I have to say that those sequences of VGS and VES are the first sequencing of whole genomes and whole exome performed in Serbia, and since then we had like 45 VGS and 30 VES samples sequenced. And the last and not the least, Nifty Pro testing online training was performed in April. Similarly to Hungary, until now we had to send out samples for Nifty testing, but hopefully now Nifty Pro testing, prenatal diagnostic screening, actually will be performed for women in Serbia. And a direct consequence, a good one, of this establishment of this center, actually, that we received 2 projects. We now, with the center, had actually opportunity to present more attractive apply with more attractive project, and one is both European funded, and one is Horizon Europe project. 250 whole genome, human genome will be sequenced at that during that project, and the other one will focus on development of pipeline for VGS. I probably don't have to mention that in both cases PIs are women. To be honest, actually, we are not complete stranger to NGS. Since 2014, we have MySac Illumina platform, and basically it was used for diagnostic purposes. Up to now, 300 clinical exomes was sequenced. We have some experienced cardio and viral panel. Recently, through US aid donation, we acquired NextSec 500 diagnostic platform, and hopefully we will now have much better, much better diagnostics options for clinical exome, and we of course have small Oxford nanopore minion, which is usually used for sequencing of plant viral genomes or direct RNA sequencing, not transcriptomics. Since I'm talking about NGS and high-throughput experience in Serbia, I felt obligated to say that not sequencers are located only at our institute. There are some other platforms at University, Faculty of Biology, School of Medicine, and Directorate for National Reference Laboratories. All of them are used for specific purposes. One of activities of our institute, and now activity of the center, is organization of bioinformatics conference, and I managed to make mistake, so don't save this date, please. Save the date 1 month before, so from 19 to 23 June next year, we will have a conference, Belgrade Bioinformatics Conference. This is 4th in a row, and as you can see, we cover, during these 5 days, we cover really broad, very broad spectrum of topics. Maybe we could then organize, if we satisfy your condition, a woman in science as a satellite or as a part of a conference. And actually, I'll have to go a little bit further, as in my own experience in last year, just setting up 2 remote laboratories in a short time, then establishing and making an operational center for genome sequencing actually is a huge step forward. But as you can see on this slide, actually this is, which is here, and we finished that, genome sequencing center opened. Actually, this is only a part of a larger project, which is actually a building of Bio4 campus in Belgrade. This campus will be, just briefly, focused on biomedicine, biotechnology, bioinformatics, and biodiversity, but also it will be a platform to connect and foster collaboration, and hopefully I think that BGI will be one of the companies present there. So if you are open for any kind of collaboration, really invite everybody to contact us. We will for sure find a way to collaborate. And this is like how it would look like, at least that's, that is how our architecture sees our Bio4 campus. And this is the signature building that should be a conference center. So yeah, maybe next ICG can be held there. I hope that, that our Bio4 campus will be finished, at least according to the plan, is 2024. And at the end, actually, if you allow me to zoom out again, now on the global level, I would like to present how massive parallel sequencing traveled from Belgrade to Belgrade around the world. Everything started in 1989 when one of the papers related to sequencing by hybridization actually was authored by Rade Drmanac, who then moved from Belgrade to California. He founded Complete Genomics, and then Complete Genomics moved to Beijing, China, and then from China again to Belgrade. The full cycle was like 30 years long, but it was, I'm really curious to see what next 30 years will bring us. And then, thank you for listening.
Thank you, and allow me to congratulate with these important infrastructure developments, and we're looking forward for new scientific discoveries coming from your new buildings. Are there any questions? How currently your lab is used? What type of analysis are you doing? We have, of course, seen your trainings. Are you serving scientific society in Serbia or involving also in diagnostics?
Well, the idea is actually at the moment the only diagnostics we are, the only service for public health is this COVID surveillance. But actually, that's the only, at this moment, we are planning to introduce many other services. Regarding BGI platforms, at this moment, we are planning to offer an IFTI-Pro testing for Serbian population, maybe even for surrounding countries if they are willing, if they would like to have lower costs because of transportation. We are actually, in the center of the Western Balkans, so many countries, small countries the size of ours are close to us, so maybe it's not prudent to each country have this kind of facilities, and but the other diagnostics we offer is actually a clinical exome at this moment, and it's covered by national medical insurance in cases when it's actually appropriate way for diagnostics.
So how are you planning on rolling out the NIFTY? Are you planning to offer it privately to all expectant mothers, or are you going to be triaging to high-risk
I think
mothers?
that but don't take my answer completely as true in the terms that I'm basically in COVID sequencing involved, okay. But I know that we will try to offer as a market diagnostics, but we will try to get into national insurance, health insurance also, because we are trying to integrate those new diagnostics tools into health insurance covered. But I don't know if we are going to succeed, when we are going to succeed, but obviously after many years, we actually succeed to include the clinical exome as a part of, which is, we are a small country that's like 7 million people, it's not huge GDP, and unfortunately the percent of GDP of the country which goes currently to a science, it's not huge, but this time government recognized, and actually they put a lot of money to build 2 laboratories together with BGI and center.
Okay. I wish you all the best.
Oh, thank you.
It's transformational. And thank you.